Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Kim Circle podcast, a sanctuary of truth, transformation, and soul centered living. I'm your host, Jessa Francis, trauma informed yogi, alcohol free beverage consultant, holistic life and business coach, writer, speaker, and a guide for those ready to return to themselves. If you've been with me since season 1, thank you for staying close. If you're new here, I'm so honored that you have found this space. Over the past few months, I have been deep in creation, reshaping the Kim Circle, not only as a podcast, but as a living, breathing community of healing and embodiment. I've built a new framework that now holds our membership space, one that helps people move not only through their shadow work, but from awareness into embodiment and from self doubt into deep self trust. This season, we're going even deeper into the work of reclaiming your story, your energy, and your truth. It's the real integration work that happens after the breakthroughs. We'll talk about shadow work, nervous system wisdom, alcohol free living, creativity as medicine, and what it really means to wake up and live on purpose every single day. I'll also be sharing updates on my latest offerings, including the Kim Circle membership and my one-on-one holistic coaching programs. Because whether you're walking through a season of grief, growth, or reinvention, you don't have to do it alone. If you're ready to go beyond just coping and finally embody the freedom, presence, and peace that has always been yours, then this season is for you. So get cozy, take a breath, come as you are. Let's drop in and rise together. Welcome to season 2. Hey, friends, I'm back, and today I am talking about self-development and some of the biggest insights that have transformed the way I think and feel about the self-help industry and how the concept of self-improvement plays in the Kim Circle membership and my coaching. So, never mind me, I've had bronchitis for the last week and I'm still recovering, but I'm here, I'm showing up, and I'm feeling a little bit better every single day. So, bear with me, and if I cough, I'll try to pause. All right, so today I want to talk to you about this self-development thing. I have been so heavy in this self-help, self-development, self-improvement, for so long. For 20 plus years, I have been working on myself, right? Trying to figure out how to improve myself, wisen up, get it right, be better, and really be enough, be worthy, and honestly just be okay with being me. And to say the least, I have had a really bad self-worth issue, right? I've had this identity crisis, and I was going about my self-improvement like so many of us do from the completely wrong angle. And no, this isn't Chat GPT, but I wasn't broken. I didn't need to be fixed. What I was buried. I was buried underneath everyone else's thoughts, ideas, projections, fears, and expectations, underneath the pressure of hundreds of years worth of generational trauma. And so, no, I didn't need to fix myself or even to improve myself. I couldn't do self-help or self-development, not truly, not fully, no matter how much I tried. The books, the courses, the podcasts, they couldn't help me until I was able to unearth myself from that burial ground. I needed to re-emerge, right? Me, my truth, myself. I couldn't fix someone that I didn't even know. Because just like so many of us, I had been disconnected from myself, from my intuition, from who I truly was as a child growing up in this world, just trying to survive, listening to my parents, to my peers, to society, to what I was seeing around me, to what I was being taught by the outside world. Because here's the thing, we all come into this life with a beautiful, wild, stardust, sun-like soul shine that is put into a body with a story, with an ancestry, and a preset trajectory based on that story that we were born into. We don't just have a story, right? We're born into a story. And I'm not here to blame or to shame or to point fingers, okay? I am just here to point out the truth, because think about it. We have little to no say in our formative years. Right here, right now, think to yourself, are you holding on to or even clinging to stories of things that happened to you as a child? Think about the things you learned based on your experience as a child, because if you are right here, right now, I need you to recognize that that shit ain't yours, baby. And all of that, all of those things, that programming that either set you up for success or failure, most of the time both, and the rest of your adolescence, teenage years, and young adult life, many of the times that you are probably holding on to grudges and guilt and shame about certain behaviors and mistakes you made during those ages. And all of those stories, those things that happen to you, they aren't yours. That isn't you. And you can't allow yourself to continue identifying with them. And all the things that followed up after those formative years, they were built on that foundation of those first initial childhood experiences. And that can be either a foundation of love, fear, or both. And love and fear often intertwine, and that can get really confusing. Mostly because, like I did, you think, but my parents loved me. I had all my needs met. I have no reason to be this way. It's just me. And you blame yourself and you guilt yourself for feeling broken, which only creates more disconnection from self. So, listen, healing or anything else in this life isn't linear, it's cyclical and more complex than any 90-day program that you're going to find out there. Over the past couple years, life has been coming at me. And guess what? It's because I asked for it. I asked for it by wanting to teach this stuff. And I mean, fuck. The ups and downs and turnarounds that have been intense. And it's because I have been on this journey of elevation, right? But it has required me to excavate more and more and more of my truth. It has required me to keep rising above the bullshit enough so that I can figure this out enough to share it with you. And listen, you may be thinking that you know who you are. You may think you understand yourself, but guaranteed you're still using phrases like, I can't help it. It just is what it is. My brain just does this. My thoughts have a mind of their own. And then you still have trust me, you still have some things to uncover, because even those thoughts, even that is programming, and it's part of the story that you're buried under. So let's go back right here. I want you to think, what popped up in your mind when I said the things you were born into, the stories of your childhood? And don't overcomplicate it. What was life like for you before the age of 7? Good memories, bad memories, maybe a lot of confusion and questions. All something to get super curious about, super compassionately curious about. And part of you may be going, I don't want to go in the past. You may think, if I wanted to get to know myself, why can't I just focus on the good things, the things that I love? Why can't I do this without dwelling and harping on the past? And it's because of this. Are you struggling with things like procrastination, avoidance, perfectionism? Do you have a long list of excuses about why you're feeling stuck in your life, unable to do all those things that you love? Well, it's because that is self-sabotage. And self-sabotage has been built into you. And the key to unlocking that cage, keeping you stuck, is in your story. It's not about dredging up your past. It's about loving and honoring yourself. All versions of you. Figuring out where and how the initial self-betrayal began so that you can unearth your core true self and reconnect with that real you. So there may be different stories, right? That all these different thoughts, feelings, questions, etc. that come up about your formative years. And that is where we start, right? We start with the foundation, with the recognition of just that confusion around your formative years. Because a lot of people say, like, I don't have great memories, I've blocked out a lot, and most of the time, guaranteed, you're overcomplicating things and you're not willing to do the work to dig a little deeper. But go ahead and think to yourself, how do you feel that your initial life set you up? What did you come to believe about yourself from from those initial core, that foundation? What identity markers can you recognize? So here's an example. My parents were extremely hard workers, and that's not a bad thing, right? Because I was taught that you had to work and work hard for anything you wanted in life. But I was also taught that you needed to be practical, logical about anything you chose to do. So right away you can see how my big, big dreams and like these career goals that I have been marred with a lot of limitations. Because these beliefs of hard work ignored the value of rest and recovery, and it told me that only lucky people get to do creative jobs and make a good living with like that creative side. It shut down a huge part of my core being, right? My core being was this human who enjoyed loving, compassionate, sometimes slow, quiet life, and sometimes wild, crazy, adventurous, creative, artistic, expressive, like anytime that I was wanted something slower and more loving, I was lazy. And anytime that I was more creative and enthusiastic and bold, I needed to be more practical. Like there were all of these parameters around what I was capable of achieving in life, right? And so you can see there that I was limited based on my deepest, wildest, most authentic, real desires, right? It was stifled. And then some, another, core foundational part of my life was that my home was like there was some really weird concepts of love and sex, right? And love and sex became this very warped thing for me, which threw me into a complete tailspin in all of my future relationships. And it sent me into a love addiction that that has sabotaged me time and again, over and over. I wasn't whole. I was only half of a soul looking for a mate. So, just with those two things, two very different things, right? And trust me, there's so much more. But all of that happened before the age of 7, right? This, this idea about what love was, this idea of what I could accomplish with, my future, with my goals, with my dreams, all of that was foundational, right? Based on my parents and their beliefs that came from their parents and their beliefs and back and back and back. And that's what shadow work is, right? I wasn't set up to believe that I could just be me, right? I wasn't enough. I needed to change. You know, my core being wasn't worthy as is, right? And so you may be thinking to yourself, well, this kind of sounds a lot like therapy, right? You go in, you talk about your struggles, you tie it to your past. And there's a big difference between therapy and coaching. And don't get me wrong, I'm not here to bash therapy, not at all. It can be a beautiful and essential part of your path. It has certainly helped me. But what life coaching does is it goes beyond that. Right. And that's why the Kim Circle has yoga, breathwork, meditation, ritual, habit building, manifestation practices, community. All of it is built in, right? Because you can see, right, that I have done my shadow work and I continue to do my shadow work. I continue to look at where, I have built this identity crisis, how it was built. And I come into this place of awareness, right? This is shadow work to get to that place of awareness. But then I need to do the shadow work integration. I need to be able to move through the awareness. And I'm able to do that because I have these nervous system regulation tools available to me through yoga, nature, community. And all of it is so imperative for the building of momentum, the building of the next step, right? Like, I've always deep down deeply desired this big, beautiful, grandiose life. And why not? You have one. You have one that, like, as far as we know, and what we're in the present moment, you're in this body. This is the body you get. This is the life you get, right? So if you want to stop feeling guilty and shameful, if you want to stop feeling overwhelmed and pressured and stuck and all of these things, if you feel like there's got to be more than this, then this is for you. This is what we're doing. This is, you finding the community of people that are motivated and driven to be more, to have more, to heal, to grow, to develop, to live this one beautiful life boldly with beauty, right? And that's what brings me back around to self-help, self-improvement, self-development, because all of this, that's what this is, right? It is. But you need the foundational shadow work. You need to understand your foundation to be able to step into that. You need to know who you are and have a better core identity intact, where you're like, okay, like I know what the seat of the witness is, and I can move into that omnipresence and be with the core part of me, because I'm doing this work and I'm gradually building upon this over and over and over again. So, if today's conversation has stirred something inside of you, if you're feeling called to explore your own story more deeply, I would love to have you on this journey with me. I would love for you to be a part of this with me. The Kim Circle membership is where this work comes alive through community. You'll join our weekly Tea and Truth gatherings. You'll be there for our new and full moon ceremonies, our shadow work circles, our group coaching calls, all of it designed to help you uncover and honor your own story alongside others doing the same work. It's an incredible value. For less than the cost of one private yoga class, you get all of this. And if you're ready for one-on-one support and writing your story and doing the deep shadow work with one-on-one support while also having that community, then I recommend starting with one of my memoir medicine cycles. You can get 2 private coaching sessions, personalized prompts, deep editorial feedback, plus a month of the Kim Circle membership so you can experience both individual and community support. If you want to learn more about me and my offerings, go to thekiamcircle.com. That is TheKimCircle.com. Thank you so much for joining me in this sacred space, for storytelling, my storytelling, and witnessing me, and thank you to showing up for yourself, for being curious enough to listen to this. But before we close, as always, I want to offer you right here, wherever you are, I invite you to take a deep breath with me. Breathe in. As you do, take in everything that you just heard and let it settle. And then breathe out, releasing anything that doesn't serve you, but holding on to whatever wisdom and recognition that has stirred within you. You matter. Your story matters. This world needs you, the realest, most authentic, and brilliant version of you. The path that you have walked, the lessons you've learned, the person you're becoming, all of it matters. And whether you share it through writing, through conversation, or simply by living more authentically, this world needs your particular way of seeing and being. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll see you next week.